Hello Book Besties! Welcome to another blind TBR Christmas edition. And it's husband edition, but I'll get him when I'm ready for him. First of all, can we just all take a second, a moment of silence for the fact that we're already almost to December? What? How? Make it make sense. If you've been here for most of my blind TBRs, I usually use a number generator or numbers out of a cup. This cup has tea. It is not my number cup. We're going full Grinch theme here because my husband is going to be the one to come pick 5 books off of the shelf this time, and his favorite is The Grinch, and so I was like, okay, we'll do a little Grinch theme in honor of my husband. Plus, I mean, really, who doesn't love The Grinch? But before I get him and before we get into these books, I do have my Christmas TBR, my holiday TBR, as you will. So I wanted to go over those first. Spoiler alert, I will 100% not get to all of these books. I do typically try to pick only the amount of books that I plan on actually reading, but for the holiday season, it's just gonna look a little bit different. I don't want to narrow down my Christmas TBR because I want to just have these books on the shelf and kind of mood read. But on the cart, these are not holiday books. What these are the next book in every series I'm in the middle of. So these books are gonna be their last chance for me to actually read them this year, to continue a series or finish a series. I just thought it would be fun for my last month of the year to have those have their final chance. So let's get into the Christmas books on my holiday and December TBR. Epic fail, guys. I forgot to have my little snowflake lights on for the intro of this video, but I'm not re-recording it. Corrections have been made. The lights are on. My tree over there still doesn't have lights on it. It's fine. I'm gonna do that probably today. Okay, let's talk about these books. And again, not I probably won't, I will not read all of these. It's just to mood read through these books. First is Christmas at Fireside Cabins. I have had this one on my TBR for I think 2 years now. So maybe this will be the year that I finally read this one. This book has me super intrigued simply because I've heard people compare it to a Christmas Gilmore Girls vibes. The female is like Lorelai, the male is like Luke, and the small town is like Stars Hollow. So enough said. Lila Evans is all alone, left with only memories of the heartbreaking time she lost her father, but this year she's in search of a home away from home, and the countryside retreat of Fireside Cabin sounds like the perfect place. Ooh, oh my gosh, I didn't realize this. It's tucked in the snow-topped Tennessee mountains. I just moved to Tennessee this year, so that's pretty cool. But it doesn't offer the small town welcome she'd been expecting. When she stops at the local coffee shop for a much-needed peppermint latte, the rugged, surly owner Theo, or potentially better known as Luke, gives her a reception as icy as his piercing blue eyes. But she's bumping into Theo everywhere. She discovers that there's more than just his frosty demeanor. And when Lila sees him smile, it feels like sunshine on a cold winter's day, like coming home. Why have I put this off for 2 whole years? She makes it her mission to warm up Theo, even if the town warns her that it would take a Christmas miracle. Okay, I want to start this right this second. I literally am so mad at myself and questioning my decision making over the last 2 years. Why didn't I pick this up? Why? Next, I got this one last Christmas. Welcome to the Fae Cafe. Simply, I got this because I heard it's a fantasy with fae, but probably more of a cozy fantasy, and it's obviously a holiday book. 4 deadly fae assassins come to the human realm to hunt down Kate Cole for breaking a fairy law. Leading them is Cressica Albastian, the most feared and deadly fae assassin of the North and heir to the North Corner of Ever. But after they arrive in the human realm, things go terribly wrong. To the prince's horror, his assassins unwittingly get roped into running a cozy cafe on Kate Cole's behalf. To blend in, the fae assassins are forced to learn how to do basic human activities like cleaning up after themselves, driving without road rage, reading popular fantasy books at book club without getting into alpha male fights over what they're reading, and in general, they have to be nice and blend into regular human society. Can they make this a movie, please? Talk to who we need to talk to. That needs to be a movie. With a temper like no other and deadly power that's unmatched, Prince Cressica seeks to get revenge on Kate Cole. But as he aims to strike where it will hurt her the most, the prince finds himself enchanted by his human target in more ways than one. If this book disappoints me, it might be one of the biggest upsets of the year. And then if you've been here since October, you saw me get The Wedding Witch, and you saw me put this on my October TBR before I idiotically realized this is a Christmas cover and this is a Christmas setting. So this one is definitely a continuation in the series, The Ex-Hex and The Kiss Curse. So I personally don't think you should read this one if you haven't read those. Bowen Penhallow is a loner studying dark and ancient magic. He prefers to be left alone, but his friend Declan, who happens to be a ghost, asks him to attend a Yuletide wedding at a grand estate deep in the Welsh countryside. Bowen very reluctantly agrees. And then Tamsin sells magical items. Bowen is in fact an occasional customer, so they've met before, and apparently he's the star of her dreams, whatever that means. She is also finagled into this wedding, but Tamsin isn't the only one sneaking about in this house, and the mix of that very strong spell combined with a wedding mishap transports Bowen and Tamsin into the past to the Yuletide celebration of 1957, and they have to work together to get back to the present, and the fact that somewhere between the mistletoe and the bonfire they might be falling in love. It's definitely not my typical go-to synopsis for the Christmas season, but because I really enjoyed the other two, I'm excited to read this one. And then another one on my Christmas TBR that is probably highest is Christmas with a Crank by Courtney Walsh. This one just came out. I love Courtney Walsh. I love her books. I love her writing. Her rom-coms are where it's at. And I didn't even read the synopsis, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I bought this book because she's just an auto-buy author to me. And I'm pretty sure, it hasn't been confirmed yet, but I'm 99% positive that this is going to be my Patreon book club's book pick for December, so that'll be really fun to read this as well with all of my girlies. It is a second chance romance. Liam Fisher's first crush was his next door neighbor Olive Witherby. Their childhood was lazy summers, treehouse stargazing, endless games of hide and seek, but Liam moves away and he and Olive say goodbye the only way that they knew how, with a fumbling first kiss neither of them have ever forgotten. 20 years later though, Liam's parents announce they're retiring and selling their tree farm. Now at this time, Pine Creek is the last place that Liam wants to be. Olive is still there. Her work life is a lot like her love life. It's floundering after business failure, loads of debt, laughable first dates, but then she's hired by Liam's parents to rekindle the lost magic of their farm, and she sets out to make this the last best Pine Creek Christmas for the town and for a very cranky, not so talkative, but surprisingly attractive Liam. Part of her mission is to convince the crank to fall in love with Christmas. The other part is not to fall head over heels in the process. Oh my goodness, this sounds adorable, and I know it's gonna be laugh out loud funny. I know the banter's gonna be great, and the chemistry and all the feelings are gonna be there. But she does also write completely closed door. And then of course we have Spectacular by Stephanie Garber. Guys, if you haven't seen this book in person, look how stunning this book is. And there's even pictures throughout. Look at this. You do need to read the Caraval series first, so you can't just go buy this. I mean, you could go buy this because it's beautiful, but you can't necessarily just jump right into reading it from what I understand. I would think you need to read Caraval first. But I have, and I loved it, and I am so here for this Christmas book. And then there is just two more. I told you guys I will not get to all of these, but I've got two more that I do not currently have in my possession. I'll either read them on Kindle Unlimited or I'll end up buying them. One of those books is Five Stolen Rings by Gracie Ruth Mitchell. She wrote Juniper Bean Resorts to Murder, which is a cozy mystery. I really, really enjoyed that book. So when I saw that she was making a Christmas book, I was like, add to TBR. It says that Stella moved back to her hometown. She's now a house sitter for 12 days leading up to Christmas as a desperate bid to earn some extra money. She never expected to recognize the thief that breaks into the house she's watching. Jack, her childhood best friend, the one who turned cold and distant overnight and never told her why. Jack insists that there's something in the house that belongs to him, but Stella's not going down without a fight. If only locking the windows and doors could keep Jack from stealing her heart. It says that this is a wacky rom-com mashup of Home Alone and 12 Days of Christmas, perfect for fans of love, laughter, and holiday warm fuzzies. say less. If it's anything like Juniper Bean, it's gonna give you the mystery and the rom-com style love, but also should have some good depth to the plot. And then the other one that I don't currently own, but I want to read, is The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year. This one is also, I think, classified as a cozy mystery and an enemies to lovers Christmas romance. So it's gonna kind of bridge both of those genres. The most famous mystery writer in the world just disappeared out of a locked room 2 days before Christmas. Maggie Chase and Ethan Wyatt. She's the new queen of cozy mystery. He is Mr. Big Time Thriller Guy. He thinks her name is Marcy, no matter how many times she's told him otherwise. She hates his guts. But when they both accept a cryptic invitation to attend a Christmas house party at the English estate of a reclusive fan, neither is expecting their host to be the most powerful author in the world, Eleanor Ashley, the Duchess of Death herself. That night, the weather turns, and the next morning, Eleanor is gone. She vanished from a locked room, and Maggie has to wonder, is she in danger? Is it all some kind of a test? Is Ethan the competition? Or is he the only person in that snowbound mansion she can trust? This Christmas, these two rivals are gonna have to become allies, and maybe more if they have any hope of saving Eleanor. Assuming they don't kill each other first. The laugh out loud holiday romistery. Okay, hold up, I've never heard that phrase before. It's like mystery romance, like romantasy. How have I never heard romistery? I love that. That's adorable. Anyways, it's the laugh out loud holiday romistery that you have been waiting for. I think every genre is just realizing that everyone wants some romance in their lives. At least I do. So probably not everyone, but put romance in any genre and I'm gonna be a lot more inclined to read it. Okay, I'm gonna go get my husband and let him pick the 5 books that I will be unwrapping. Actually, let's work a little Christmas magic and I'm just gonna like make him appear. Ready? It worked. It's magic. I did a little like...
Oh, and I appeared.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Hubs is here.
Hi.
He doesn't do a lot on camera, so if he's a noob, we're gonna just offer grace if he, you know, is awkward. I'm awkward every time though. You don't have to. You're gonna need your arm.
Okay.
You're gonna pick 5 books off the cart. I have one request. Just one.
Just one.
Just one.
That's shocking. Just one. Surprised. Continue.
Don't pick all massive books, please.
That'll make for a long month of reading.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to do chunky? Maybe just one chunky, please?
Okay. So I get to pick 5, any kind.
Just pick 5.
Okay. This is our first option here.
Ooh, a nice thin one. Did you notice I got Grinch?
I did. I love the Grinch. That's why I was very happy. I wore my red shirt to go along with it. Does it work? Okay.
You look like one of the presents.
I'm your best present, honey.
Oh, because your shoulder since you're facing away from me.
I feel bad because this one got a little bent.
Of course you bent it.
It wasn't my fault. It was the shelf's fault.
There's 2.
I like these.
You're like thinking about
these are
this.
short and not as thick, but they're short, you know. They're good.
Okay.
They're good. That's 4.
One more.
I'm gonna go with this one right here. This is the one right here. Sounds like a good one.
Thank you. Hold on. No, sit back down.
I'm very squished here.
Let's make him disappear again. Ready? He didn't pick any huge ones, so that was very kind and loving of him. I'm not going to open them with him here because we're a little squished in here. So let's just open these books and let's see what I'm reading. Book number 1. There's one book on here that this is the one I read. Like, this is book 1. Book 2, I'll either read on Kindle Unlimited or now I have an excuse that I need to go buy another book. I didn't own book 2 physically, but I really wanted it on here, so I just wrapped book 1. So this is funny that he picked this because I technically have to go buy another book now. Bending the rules. Technically, this should be, let's just pretend this is breaking the rules, I'm pretty sure. This book left off, guys, on one of the most epic cliffhangers I think I've ever read. Maybe not, but it was a huge cliffhanger. And I've been dying to read the second book, but just haven't had the time with other TBRs. So this was an awesome pick. I'm so excited to continue this series. It is a college sports romance with all of the tension and all of the like, I hate you, but I love you, and the brother-sister relationship also, because he's like a brother's best friend. The female lead in this one was so cool. Like, I really liked her. Is this a perfect book? Absolutely not. I actually don't think like a lot of people would probably like it. I think a lot of people would find that it's quite flawed, but I am always just looking for feelings, okay? So it worked for me, and I'm definitely excited to read book 2. Next. Nice. I love that I did this because I'm so happy to know, like, okay, I'm gonna finally continue some of these series. Eyes Turn Skyward by Rebecca Yarros. If you don't know, she's the author of Fourth Wing. But guys, before Fourth Wing, she wrote a ton of romance. That is why her romantasy, like the romance within Fourth Wing, is so good, in my opinion, because she was a romance writer. This is the sequel to Full Measures. So I'm pretty sure, okay guys, I'm realizing that I read book 1 and completely binged it. So I'm like, I remember like key points. It says that Jagger, he's enrolled in the country's toughest flight school. He's hot, reckless, and perfect for a girl looking to live life to the fullest. Except that Paisley Donovan is the commanding general's daughter. Not to mention, she has a close relationship with Jagger's biggest rival. I am so here for that. Forbidden romance is what that gives me, and if done right, that will literally like tug at my heart so much. Book 3. I guess I'm in my sports romance era in December apparently. Next one is Beg You to Trust Me. This is the sequel to Dare You to Hate Me. It is the Lyndon Yu books. This is also college sports romance. Apparently, I'm here for that in every series. It just works for me, and I love that trope. I will eat it up. Unfortunately, because these are sequels, I can't like give major synopsis, but I did really like book 1. It dealt with some triggering stuff, but when triggering things are handled well, I really appreciate them in books. In book 1, it was handled very well. So if you like some drama and some like really real life stuff, you should try that book. I obviously can't speak for this one yet. It's about this girl who kind of endures something pretty difficult when she shows up to college, and one of the players on the university's team kind of befriends her, and so it's like a friends to lovers story, but I'm sure it's gonna be just like fully loaded with all of the feelings. Moving right along. Finally, some fantasy. There is a lot of fantasy series that I'm in the middle of on here. A Promise of Peridot, or Peridot, I quite literally do not ever know how to say that. This is a sequel to A Dawn of Onyx. Such a good, fun romantasy story. But then I didn't hear amazing things about book 2, and so I think that's why I just kind of set it on the TBR shelf and never ended up picking it up. But I really do want to read it, so this is perfect. It's got a lot of green on the cover, so Christmas vibes. I really don't want to get into the synopsis, especially for a romantasy fantasy type of a book, because I obviously don't want to give spoilers for the first one. But if you like fantasy, specifically romantasy, I did love the first book, so hopefully I love this one too. And the last book, okay, I'm really excited about this one too. Firefly Lane. Now, I know you're like, Jordan, that is not in a series. I know. There was a few books, only like 3 on here, that are not part of a series. I just had them really high on my TBR for 2024 and never got to them. And Firefly Lane is one of them, which I kind of am so happy that this got put here, because I've been oddly in the mood for some historical fiction. I really enjoy historical fiction, I just don't read it often. And so in the midst of all of the Christmas and the cozy and the fantasy and romance and all of those things, I think that I'm here for also having a historical fiction on my TBR. So I'm really excited about this one. This book just gets incredible reviews. I've never even watched the show because I'm like huge on reading a book before watching a movie or a show. So I'm really eager to read this. I hope that I end up actually like truly having the time. Otherwise, it's gonna be really high on my 2025 TBR. Oh my gosh. So that is a wrap on my December TBR. Guys, this is absurd. This will never happen.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Plus the 2 that I don't physically have. 12, 13 books. in the busiest month of the year. Never happening. But I'm so happy to be able to mood read through a giant stack and just pick what I feel like reading. So all good things. Alright friends, that is a wrap. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have not hit subscribe, please hit that subscribe button, stick around. I hope that your holiday books are amazing, that your holidays are good, that despite how busy this season can be, I really do hope that we can all enjoy our books, take the time we need to rest, and live in the moment. Like, that's my #1 holiday goal, is not just the books to read, but it's despite how busy and crazy and overwhelming this season can be, I really want to make sure that I enjoy the moments that I'm in, and I hope that you all can do the same. See you in the next one, guys.